Freddie Laker had made his first fortune during the Berlin airlift. His next adventure lay in the English Channel, linking Britain and the rest of Europe.
At the time, getting your car from the UK to continental Europe was actually really difficult. There was no such thing as roll-on, roll-off ferries.
Freddie decided there was clearly a need for a swift and reliable service which would carry cars and passengers. He modified large transport aircraft by chopping off the nose and putting large opening doors so that cars could be swiftly flown across the channel.
Freddie Laker named his air ferry Carvair, short for Car via Air. He started by converting war surplus planes, but Laker was an engineer as well as a businessman. He designed his own aircraft, calling it the Accountant. The Accountant never became a commercial success, but aviation experts were wowed by Laker's enterprising spirit and engineering skill.
Many people said that Freddie Laker could take an aircraft apart, put it together again, and get in it and fly it himself. There was little or nothing about aviation engineering that he didn't know about.
But it was Laker's innovative business ideas, not his engineering skills, that made him rich. He rapidly developed a taste for the high life, Rolls-Royce cars, yachts, and racehorses.
The racing was then a preserve of the old money. Lord Rosebery, Lord Derby, Aga Khan, the Queen. The Jockey Club ran everything in their own way. And here came Freddie with new money and caused a bit of a stir by competing with the old money. But they obviously respected him tremendously because they invited him to join the Jockey Club, which was really quite an extraordinary thing at that time.
Freddie Laker's new wealth and social status didn't stop him from hunting for the next opportunity. In those days, air travel in Britain was dominated by scheduled airlines with fixed fares too high for most ordinary people. But the opening of a new airport in 1958 signaled change. Gatwick Airport, 28 miles south of London, became the cheap fare alternative to Heathrow, Britain's main airport. It was the launch pad for chartered flights operated by a growing number of private carriers. In 1960, these carriers banded together to form BUA, British United Airways. 38-year-old Freddie Laker became the managing director. For the first time, Laker was running an airline in direct competition to the scheduled airlines.
British United Airways, they were based down at Gatwick. They could fly very low-cost operations to a wide range of places, and they were taking a lot of traffic from the established government-run airlines.
They flew down to East Africa, they flew down to South America. Bits that British Airways couldn't make successful, British United Airways did make successful.
Despite his success, Freddie Laker didn't enjoy his time at BUA. Laker always needed to be his own boss, and he had a business partner in mind. His son, Kevin.
He saw so much of himself in Kevin. Kevin was so like him, both physically and in character. And when they were very young, they used to sit and build model airplanes together. And then they were in the garage making go-karts, both very mechanically minded and loving the machines.
Freddie Laker dreamed of a father and son airline business, but like his father, Kevin was a rebel.
Kevin and I spent a lot of time together during our early teens, and he learnt to drive a three-wheeler. Then we went from there to motor cars. You'd got two young tearaways out discovering the world, wine and women. We'd go out and generally raise hell around the district.
Kevin was an absolute speed merchant. He'd actually had so many accidents, I can't tell you, but they were minor.
On Kevin's 17th birthday, Freddie bought him a sports car. He never imagined his gift would lead to lifelong grief.
We went to a party in Dorking one evening, and Kevin was coming back to my house. I'd gone ahead and Kevin was following.
On the Dorking bypass, Kevin's sports car spun onto the other side of the road and hit a van coming from the opposite direction. Kevin was taken to hospital. Freddie and Joan rushed back from a holiday in Italy.
Could see that it was very, very serious. He was yellow and there were tubes everywhere.
No one realized at first the extent of Kevin's injuries, but 36 hours later, he died with his family at his bedside.
It's absolutely shattering. I could cry now starting thinking about it.
I've seen the pain my parents have gone through, and it is very difficult to grasp that you've got a young person there one minute and the next minute you've got a body.
Freddie was grief-stricken, but he managed to carry on with his business plan without Kevin. In 1966, 44-year-old Freddie Laker finally became the boss of his own personal airline, Laker Airways.
In the 1960s, suddenly it became within reach of the average British family that they could actually go on a holiday abroad. This was revolutionary, and they wanted to fly to the Mediterranean, which was, after all, only a couple of hours away, and enjoy sun, sand, sea, and for some of them, has to be said, sex as well.
Laker's big idea was to get holiday companies to charter his aircraft for the whole year. Summer flights made the money, which meant winter holidays could be sold for crazy prices.
We produced holidays to Palma, departing on a Friday morning and coming back on a Monday afternoon for £9.99, for which you got your flight, you got your bed and you got your breakfast. £9.99 for a weekend in Palma.
It was great fun because they were lovely passengers. I mean, they were all holiday passengers, so they're determined to enjoy their flights as soon as they get on board to when they get off.
Laker Airways became one of the most successful charter airlines, but Freddie Laker's business drive took its toll on his family life. In 1968, Freddie and Joan were divorced after 26 years of marriage. He quickly remarried to Rosemary Black. Laker wasn't happy sitting still. His eyes were fixed on a bigger goal, and he was about to make the most daring move in his career.